Happy feast day to St. Barbara. So I'm actually doing some work for the full moon and St. Barbara right now. Together, I kind of put them together in her candle. And St. Barbara is really great for opening roads, in the sense, especially of like blockbuster work, right? Like really opening and blowing a hole in the side of something. She's also really great for victory in a lot of different cases, like crown of success work in different victory cases, things that you need to overcome, and obstacles, of course, that need to be removed. So anyway, those are just some of her attributes and things you can work with her for. She's really great in a lot of things, and today is her feast day and also happens to be the full moon.
I got victory in my veins, I was born to rise. Every scar on my heart is a badge of pride. When the darkness came, I refused to hide. I'm alive, I'm unbreakable, I'm still gonna fight. I got victory in my veins, you can see that spark. All the nights I was lost couldn't kill my heart. Yeah, I've been through.
We'll do a little story time here because yesterday was absolutely wild. So, full moon in Gemini, and happened to also be St. Barbara's feast day. So I kind of did a combination of, the feast day for her and my full moon work, because the full moon, or the Gemini full moon, happened to be in my 10th house, which is Gemini, right? So I was doing like, visibility, career, crown of success type work that's associated with both my 10th house and St. Barbara, who does good crown of success work and victory work and opening roads and stuff like that work. So I went to the grocery store to pick up all the supplies that are in my previous video. The pomegranates and the flowers, and I already had the rose syrup. I use rose syrup, but you could use honey. And I already had the raisins. But I went to pick up all of that stuff. And as I was as I was driving home, over my head, there was an eagle that crossed right over the top of my car, which the eagles are always Azazel. Like always Azazel. It's been very clearly linked to Azazel for me, and for Jackie, who is the other half of Magia Sinistra. So I was like, oh, okay. And eagles aren't, it's not like you notice it when they show up. It's different. Anyway, so I was like, oh, very interesting. Apparently Azazel's around for something. Okay, so went home, set it all up for St. Barbara, did the whole thing, showed my altar and and everything, and I did specific petitions for me and a couple other people. And like that part was fine. I've been working this skullwork candle, which skullwork you work at night, so there's not a lot of time for the candle to burn. So it's been burning for a few hours every night as I work the skull for this it's a client for the target, right? And so this skull wasn't even halfway burned yet. Like it wasn't, it was down, but it wasn't down that far. And I lit that work up and everything once it was nighttime. St. Barbara had been going for a while, and then the skull work was lit, and I'm just hanging out around the house. Like I'm close enough to the candles. I'm watching them and I have my eyes on them and everything. And my fire alarms start going off, and I always have a pot lid close around to where I can take care of anything. Fire safety is a big deal to me. Never leave your candles, especially spell candles, unattended, because they do wild and weird things like this. So I walk in there, the entire skull is gone. It has exploded, melted. Like the whole thing had went up in flames, and it was pulled away because it was on this pedestal. It was pulled away from anything, but the whole thing was up in flames, and the whole thing was gone, like that, gone. So I put it out, so that it wasn't dangerous because the plates get hot, you know. And I'm like, holy crap. And so I took pictures of it and messaged my client and let her know that, like, the target skull exploded, which has always been a very positive sign in my spell work, in previous like client spell works and stuff like that. It means that things are moving and do at the move however they move through the candle, right? Like, so this candle work, this skull work started slowly with a little flame that I shared. So that means it'll take a little bit of time for like that seed to set, to like germinate, and then the energy will grow and it'll be rather steady before the spell work boom hits all of a sudden. Like, that seems to be when I look at the timing of previous spell works and when candles have done this, because not all the time, but it does happen, has happened, especially in other client work and stuff. So I messaged her and let her know all of that stuff, and she was saying, you know, give positive feedback on stuff even so far that has been going on in the situation that we're working on. And so that was all great and everything. And I get, you know, done with that conversation and I open up my Facebook and I've been monetized on Facebook, which I didn't even know Facebook does monetize. I don't know how that stuff, even on like TikTok, I don't know how that stuff works. Like, I just put stuff out, share my experiences, you know, topics, things like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I clicked on it to see what it was, because I've seen Facebook pop these kinds of things up every once in a while that aren't saying like you've been monetized directly, but they're saying something about like, I don't know, money and stars or getting money on whatever, something. And I usually look at it to see, like, I do want to learn how to do social media effectively. Not that anything has really helped, but I'll look at it and see like what Facebook's showing me. And it said, you know, it said set up monetization, because the thing that appeared said you've been approved for monetization. And then it said set up monetization. And so I clicked it to see, because I figured it was going to set something up, and it was like, all right, you're monetized. And then it gave me all the like notifications that your account is now monetized and everything. I was like, I don't really know what that means, to be fair. You know, I mean, I share stuff a lot on Facebook. Everything I share here, I pretty much share over there, and I'm active on Facebook that way. But I was like, that's really interesting, given 10th house, full moon with St. Barbara, who is known to work really fast, right? And I do even believe, because one of the other things that St. Barbara is really great at is bringing back love, right? Like come to me work, love work, that kind of stuff, reconciliation type stuff like that. And even though I didn't specifically petition her for the other work that I was working on, it was there close enough. And like, spirits do what spirits do, right? Like, they will do what they do. So that was really interesting. And she's known as the fiery one, like as like a lightning strike. Like, when things move, I wasn't kidding when I said she blows a hole in the side of something to like remove blockages, right? And between the skull and the like Facebook monetization, which wasn't something that was on my radar, and we'll see how that goes. Like, it's very interesting. I was like, wow, that's really fast for something to move really fast. And also definitely gave her credit for it. It's all anti-Barb. It's all anti-Barb, right? So anyways, yeah. Then later that night, after I went to bed, I had a ton of dreams. You know, those nights where you just dream a lot, which could be the full moon too, because sometimes that happens on full moons. But I don't particularly remember a lot of the dreams that were because they were so happening so fast and stuff. There were bits and pieces that I was able to write down, but I woke up in the middle of the night absolutely drenched in sweat. Like, I was so hot, which is not normal for me. I'm usually cold. I sleep with a heating blanket because I'm cold and I stay cold, you know, like, I don't overheat. That's not a normal thing. I thought maybe my husband had turned the heater up. Like, he's always hot, so he's trying to make it as cold as possible. That's why I end up with the heating blanket. So, and it wasn't up any higher than it normally is. And I was like, oh my God, like, I was so hot. I had to sleep without any of the blankets on to fall back asleep, and the energy's just been really like intense that way since St. Barbara. So anyways, just wanted to share a little story time of some of the craziness activity, full moon, St. Barbara, exploding skulls, eagles flying overhead, crazy witchcraft life, that happens. This week has been really intense because those talismans up at midnight consecrating talismans, right? And then the next night you have all the stuff going, the rest of the stuff that I just said going on. It's crazy. So I just wanted to share and a little part of my witchy life for the full moon.